everybody, welcome to J Stern Designs. It's Quick Tip Thursday and it's snowing again. I cannot believe when I looked out my window that it was actually snowing. Happily the girls got to school before the snow started, so there wasn't a delay. Very happy about that, so I could get this done. If any of you follow me on Facebook at my J Stern Design Facebook page, you can see something different that I did yesterday. I helped a friend work on a outfit for a doll that she's doing for an early ed. She's doing it for an early childhood development class, and I had a really fun time drafting these little pieces. Like we made little jeans, and we made a little hoodie as well. So if you want to check that out, I have a before and after picture of our little doll that we dressed up yesterday. That was a fun little break from doing adult size sewing and fitting. Today what I want to show you is how to do a double folded hem on the bottom of a shirt. And the shirt I'm working on has a shirt tail hem, so it's got curve to it. And I didn't want to sit at the iron and press up my hem and then press it up again. So I'm going to show you how to do this double folded hem. Some of you may know it as a Calvin Klein hem. I learned it at Manchester Sewing many years ago, and it's really my go-to hemming method when I have a curved hem on a skirt or something that's very full, and I think you'll really, like it for a shirt. Also, I've been using my hand to press down my seams after I've steamed them on fabrics that I don't want to use weight of my iron. And I was online yesterday and I noticed that Angela Wolf has a clapper, and she has a clapper video that shows how cool it is to use a piece of wood, the clapper, to press the hem after you've steamed it. So I tried that in this video and it works amazing. So I'm going to put a link to her video so you can see it and see in more detail how to use a clapper for a variety of fabrics, and you can see how I used it here as well. And that's what we're going to be doing for today's quick tip. So let's get going. So the way you do this hemming method is you're going to turn the edge, we're going to turn this edge up, and I'm going to turn it up 3/8 of an inch because I have a total of 3/4 inch seam allowance. So I'm going to turn it up halfway, and as I turn it, I'm going to do it at the sewing machine, and I'm basically going to stitch as close as I can to the fold on the sewing machine. Part of the beauty of this hem technique is that I don't have to press the whole entire edge up before I start stitching, but because I'm working with this edge right here, I want to get it started. So I'm going to press the first couple of inches to the wrong side along my markings, just so when I go to the sewing machine I won't have to fight with getting it started evenly. You can see I've put my shirt under my presser foot, and I have my needle about 1/16 of an inch away from this bottom fold. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to start stitching along the fold. And the goal is to stitch as close to the fold as you can. And as you're stitching, you want to turn your hem up a little bit at a time to the mark that we made. Now, the other thing you want to do is hold it from the back as well. So you're sort of holding it taut as you sew. That helps control where you're stitching. And I'm just going to stitch all the way along like this and folding it up a little bit at a time to my mark. And see, the nice thing is, especially if you're working with a shirt tail hem, you didn't have to press it up yet. No pressing except at the beginning. All right, so the next step is to trim this down to 1/8 of an inch. And before I do that, I'm just going to give some steam to my hem just to reshape it a little bit. Okay, so basically I'm going to just skim my scissor blade right along the stitching, and after I get a little bit of a tail, let me just start it. And see, this is fairly quick because I'm holding this tail taut. It makes it really easy to smoothly trim this seam allowance. Look how nice that looks. Now the next step is we're going to turn our button plackets back to the right side. First, we'll press the button placket back in place to the right side, like this. And we'll press the first inch or so of our hem, and then we'll go back to the sewing machine and we'll finish sewing our hem. My needle is going to be about 1/16 of an inch away from that edge, just like it was when I sewed the fold the first time. And as I go, I'm going to turn it up that 3/8 of an inch. And again, just work a little at a time, holding it from the back and the front tautly. And I'm just going to take my time because this stitching shows on the right side of my shirt. I don't want to make sure it's perfect. And I'm just going to stitch right along the edge of my hem. And you know, the center back seam draws your eye, so make sure as you're hemming across it that you have a nice smooth straight transition. You don't want it to peek in or out here to make a little ducktail, so make sure that's nice and smooth as you stitch across it. All right, I'm coming to my second side seam, and again, I'm making sure that that's laying nice and flat with itself. It requires a little bit of pressure. I'm holding it down with my finger as I come to it so it will lay nice when I get to it. All right, let's finish up this hem. So you can see this hem looks pretty great, and I haven't even steamed it yet. You notice the wrong side looks just as lovely as the right side. Okay, so I'm going to steam my side seam and around the back. And then I'm going to put my clapper on top of it and hold it down for a second. Look at that nice flat edge. It's just really nice. All right, so here's my center back. And this is kind of a nice shot because you can see before I pressed over here and after I pressed on this side, you can see how nice that is. So let's press the second side of our back hem. And instead of using my hand and burning it, I'm going to use my clapper. Look how nice that is. I'm in love with this hem. All right, let's finish this up. All right. Using this wood clapper, I have to say, to hold down the hem instead of using my hand works much better. All right, so our hem is finished. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that quick tip. Please go to my blog at jsterndesigns.com for a link to Angela Wolf's video showing more in detail how to use a clapper. Plus, she has one that she had made special, and it's made of special wood, and I think it's amazing. So go check that out. And if you have any questions or comments, please post them either below at this video or post them on my blog. I hope you guys have a great weekend. I hear it's going to snow again in Connecticut, so I may be shoveling on Sunday and Monday, but I'll see you again for Quick Tip Tuesday next week.